Welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast with author Sarah F. Hathaway and co-host Chen Gibson, blending survival fiction and fact to bring you entertaining education that will help you dream, survive, and thrive. And now, here's your host, Sarah F. Hathaway and Chen Gibson.
Chapter 22. Cole quietly repacked his bag in the morning. The bus he needed to take was leaving soon. Chappie and Monroe walked back in the front door and saw what he was doing. "So that's it then?" Chappie asked. "You're leaving?" Monroe added. Cole looked at them sadly and admitted, "I can't do this, guys. I still have a home to return to." "Are you sure?" Monroe asked. "No, I'm not, but I can't support this," Cole confessed, cinching up his bag. "And what are we supposed to do?" Chappie wondered, waiting for Cole to respond. When he didn't, Chappie asked again, "What are we supposed to do, Virgis?" "I don't know," Cole snapped angrily. "We stuck together through thick and thin. You better have a better answer than that," Monroe challenged. "It wasn't my plan to leave you behind," Cole admitted. Chappie was hurt he would leave and snapped, "It sure the hell feels like it was." Cole looked at him seriously and suggested, "Then come with me." "We can't. We don't have homes to go back to," Monroe confessed. "Come to my home. Landowners can do that, right?" Cole urged. "I've never been anything but a free man. I'm not letting that freedom rest on any man's benevolence," Monroe declared proudly. "I agree. At least if we stay here, it's because we choose to," Chappie added. "You're already a prisoner, and you'll end up in a camp as soon as you can't fight anymore. Come with me." "You said you guys can't go along with this," Cole said, grabbing his pack. "Monroe, what do you think?" Chappie asked. "I don't think I'm going to follow any orders other than the ones that come from Virgis anyway," Monroe admitted. "I think you're right. Screw this place," Chappie said, quickly packing his bag. "All right, then let's move," Cole urged. It took 2 weeks to traverse the country. The final bus ride had taken them to Flagstaff. There was little law and order left in the town. People on the streets looked at them nervously. "What's the play here, sir?" Chappie wondered. "We go to the airport. We'll see if my truck is still there," Cole suggested. Monroe took point with a nervous look on his face. "They look scared, sir," Chappie whispered, watching the scruffy people on the street. "I'm surprised it's this civil," Cole commented. The crowd thickened as they approached the airport. "Sir, it appears the feds have control of this whole area," Monroe informed him as he returned. Cole stood for a moment perplexed. He had always been the soldier in charge, not the traveler trying to navigate a new world. He wasn't sure how to proceed. "Landowners can have refugees," Monroe suggested, as if reading Cole's mind. "I know," Cole agreed. "I'm thinking about how I would have handled the story if an ex-Fed came up to the gate with 2 other former fighter refugees." "We would have red flagged it for sure, sir," Chappie added. "The truck's worth the time to get our background story checked out, right?" Monroe wondered. "We might actually get a better meal than ration bars." "I'm sick of that chewy crap," Chappie replied. "Let's try and get the truck," Virgis agreed, heading into the crowd. After waiting through the line, Virgis approached the gate. "I'm a merc soldier on leave with 2 of my buddies. I left my truck here when I flew out the day before the Great Quake," Cole explained. The soldier looked at him curiously and chuckled a couple times. "I have to say, I've never heard that one before." "I'm serious," Cole assured him. "Can I please get my truck?" Hold on," the guard said, calling another soldier over. The guard whispered to him, and the soldier began to chuckle. Pointing out Cole, the guard shook his head positively as the soldier spoke to him. Returning to Cole, the guard told him, "Go talk to that man, the 3 of you." The crowd got louder as Cole and his team were let inside, but the noise quieted quickly as a soldier walked them away from the gate. "Major Virgis?" the soldier asked. Cole looked confused by the suggestion. "General McClintock called and said you might be coming through here," the soldier replied. The 3 men sighed, releasing the tension they had been carrying. "How's it been out here?" Cole asked as they walked towards the parking garages. "Honestly, sir, We're getting ready to pull out of here, the soldier informed him. You should get what you need from your home and return to the north as soon as possible. What about the people here? Cole asked. He could see Chappie's face distorting with concern. The people here are working together. They won't be rounded up yet, but the land is hard here. The governing board doesn't want to waste the resources on it. They reached the large metal door to the stairs in the parking garage. Their voices began to echo as they climbed the stairs to the second floor. There it is, Cole declared, admiring his raised black truck. It had a black metal front and rear bumper as well as lights on the roof. Nice, Chappie agreed, watching Cole unlock the door. Too bad you're going to be sitting in the back seat because I'm calling shotgun, Monroe declared. Oh man, screw you, Monroe. You always sit in the front, Chappie protested. That's because I'm better looking than you, Monroe teased back. The soldier who had accompanied them there laughed at the antics of the two men. Travel safely, sir. If your friends need help, let them know that the Las Vegas refugee camp is still accepting survivors, and they'll be safe and fed there. Will do. You can pick up fuel on the way out as well. You're going to need it, the soldier assured him. Thanks for your assistance, Cole told him. No problem, sir, the soldier responded, leaving the men with the truck. Sounds like Vegas is the place to be, Chappie suggested, as he climbed into the crew cab. Let's hope we can make Peach Springs work, Cole told them. And do what, sir? Homestead for the rest of our lives in a tiny country town, Monroe asked. Yeah. What's wrong with that, Cole wondered. We're soldiers, sir, Monroe answered, getting in the passenger seat. Listening to the sweet hum of the engine, Cole replied, But who are we fighting for? Hello, and welcome back to the Changing Earth podcast. This is episode number 419, season 15, episode 22. Hey, Jen, what's up?
Oh, man, we're having too much fun in the green room today.
I know.
Chin's up.
I was hardly even ready for, coming on air here. Uh-oh.
He's
right.
picking on me and
Yeah. Yes.
stuff. Good stuff.
We will
We're all
always
quacking.
quack at Chin. Yeah, because you're just such a quack up.
I do what I gotta do when I gotta do it. That's all I gotta say.
Right. So, those of you guys who are members of subscribing members that can go listen to episode 6, the blooper one is only going to be up there for a little while. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. It is up there right now. There's some little things have to be fixed up a little bit, but the ending's hilarious. It's like, thank you for I'm like, uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. We have a problem.
Just diving to Sweat Lodge or something, man.
Right? Erica Moore
pizza
in
pipe.
slow motion. Yeah, go check it out, Garden Girl. A couple of the songs are a little cut off too, but we are working on it. My poor buddy JB got the sickie, and so everything got delayed a little bit.
With this crazy tinfoil preppers over on the East Coast.
Right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. She came over and yeah.
That's what happens. You stay with us.
No,
Get
she
it.
said she got it over there, so yeah. So but yeah. So
Right.
that's up right now. We're gonna
We had.
yeah, no, she's like, that's a mess. She's just chanting up in the green room. I don't know what happened. I don't know. We got the videos are coming too of the classes, but that was a little delayed as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my audio visual girl just got all kinds of sick, and I could do nothing but pray for her. So I couldn't even give her a hard time. I wanted to, but when your buddy's down with fevers and stuff, I mean, it just doesn't seem right. So, yeah. So we will be back up and running. Now she's got to work like a dog and do all this catch-up stuff. So let's just say some prayers she stays nice and healthy, because she's just way too cool for anything less than that.
Boy, you are just browning her up, buttering her up. Man.
Right? I know. I'm so thankful. I'm so blessed to have met my sister from another mother. Oh, we also have my brother from another mother. Mr. L. Douglas Hogan will be doing his shows on Tuesday night, coming to PBN very shortly. So you can listen into the Rising Republic, and that's Mr. TJ Swenson. So you guys got to give him hell in the chat room. Just tell him that.
Mr. Davenier in his show photo.
Oh, I know, right?
Picture that he has for his show.
It's I know, man. With his little hat and everything. He's just slicker than owl shit, man. So my grandpa used to always say that. Slicker than owl shit. I'm like, I don't know, Grandpa. I don't. How slick is that? Like, I thought there was like bones and stuff in there.
Here goes a mouth bone.
Right? Well, my heel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm a little wound up today.
Yeah.
I've been a little wound up.
This is going to be a show.
Yeah. I've been a little wound up since I got, I'm not willing to let it out yet, but I had positive news, positive feedback towards actually going into production of the Changing Earth TV series. So you guys, I need a prayer group. I need you out there praying for me and praying that everything's going to work out and everything's going to be good as I begin this Hollywood journey, you know. So need you out there praying for me. And we'll see what happens. You don't know. But I got to say, I've been cloud nining it for a while now. Alrighty.
You could be a stunt, Angela Jolie.
No. No. I mean, we're gonna make some great content, though. I'm gonna write some great stuff. I don't think I'll ever go on camera, though. I don't know. We'll have to see what any of that looks like. I don't know. But it will be challenging. Oh, hey, if you guys have a suggestion of who you'd like to see as Erica Moore, go ahead and send them to me. Like, if you guys have, like, oh, this character is a perfect fit for that one, go ahead and send them at me, either in chat when we're live or go over to my website, changingearthseries.com, and shoot me a message. I am on Facebook now. I'm on Facebook. I'm back. I will not be leaving quietly. Inspired me.
Love that song.
Right? Well, that Brad, when I had him on my show, we were talking about that song, and he wrote it because of Facebook. So I was like, all right. So I was inspired to get back on there. So find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter. If you have suggestions for characters that you think would be a perfect fit for my characters, everybody's always asking me, like, who do you think is going to play blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. You know, so, yeah, send them at me. That'd be awesome. At least then I'd have a little idea of what we're going to do with that. Although I don't think it'd be my role to worry about that. I just have to worry about writing scripts, which I'm more than happy to do. Right? Oh gosh, yep. It would be so incredible. So yeah, keep praying for me. Hopefully we'll get to see Changing Earth on the TV screen before too long, which would be epically fantastic. All right, so let's jump into Virgis. So last time we did Virgis, that was like 3 weeks ago now. We did episode 21.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, before prepper camp even. He made the decision to leave. He told McClintock, that's it, I'm out. So this week, they're rolling in and coming in. I wrote this chapter in. If you guys have listened to the audio drama, this is a chapter that is just for the Virgis book to really show like how they traveled across the country and what that looked like. So that was kind of fun. And then they get his truck, which, you know, I didn't want to give him like a little Ford Ranger.
Hey, now.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. You own a Ford Ranger, don't you? Oops. Okay.
I was just sticking up guys that had the Ford Ranger, thinking about economy.
Fair enough. Okay, and I want to give him the Datsun.
The Datsun. Man, rolling old school.
Right? Yeah, my cousin used to have a Datsun.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep.
My high school buddy's dad got a brand new spanking red Datsun.
We got.
I thought it was cool.
when we went to Costa Rica, we rented a Datsun Prego van, it's called. Yeah. It's like a VW bus, no shocks. And you're just driving along the road. Like, you got out of it and you were just like, it was like being on the boat or something. So, no, but Virgis has made this decision, that he is done. It would be a really hard position to be in as law enforcement.
How well that went.
Right.
I'm still amazed at how well. I mean, even today's episode is like, yeah, come on in, get your truck. I'm like, holy crow.
He had McClintock.
Yeah, fill it up.
Yeah. Right. Well, McClintock still has his back. That's the only reason why. So
amazing.
Yeah. We had to give him a little love there as he travels.
Mm-hmm.
And he totally would. They've been friends for so long. McClintock's like, hey, he's coming in. Give him his truck. Let him go home. Lick his wounds.
Yeah, I trust you, author. So some crap's gonna hit the fan pretty soon because you don't just be happy. Those rainbows don't shine for too long.
You know my work too well. You've noticed that you've seen the pattern now. Pattern.
Oh, poof! Door closes in her face. That one pissed me off.
Oh, that was the best. I listen to that all the time. I love that scene.
Shot in the head.
Yep.
Man.
Oh, I remember the text that you sent me when Vince got. Yeah, you were just like, "What happened just then?" Okay, so for those of you who are listening who just got totally lost, head on over to my website, become a free member, and you can go listen to the archives and get caught up on the book series. Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Show some love.
Yeah, we've been around since like 2014. You should know the book series by now. I'm just saying.
Man, I love walking around prepper camp and seeing Changing Earth bags because I know somebody bought the book series.
Right.
I gave the people the thumb. I saw this guy about my age carrying a bag. I was like, gave him the thumbs up. Like, you go, man.
So just so you know, I am hooked up now with this platform, and I'm going to have a ton of Changing Earth merchandise really, really soon that everybody can get hooked up with. Yeah.
I got my camo hat, which I have at camp every year, although I can't wear it because of my uniform. But
right.
It's always with me. Yeah.
That's good. No, so hopefully that'll work out well. I think I like the system that they have me on. So we'll have all kinds of Changing Earth merchandise. And I already have a sweatshirt. I got a sweatshirt design. The prototype's coming in. I just ordered one. So as long as I like the quality of it and things like that, I think we're a go. They're an invite only platform, and I got invited to get hooked up with them. So we'll see what happens. And but hopefully before too long, we'll have a ton of Changing Earth merchandise that you guys can pick up. And I'm definitely doing the Knees Before Nuts shirt, so that'll be cool. I don't know what kind of picture I'm going to put on there. It'll just be like a knee. And
so that was a trivia question. Had you been there Saturday night at camp? Blank before nuts.
I could not wait for Rick to read that at camp. I was just like waiting for him to read Blank Before Nuts.
Look at me like it's my fault. It ain't my fault. I'm just dictating this.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. Go to the booth, get the questions, bring it to Rick. And then he looks at me like I made a fault.
I know. You know all the times that I get in trouble for stuff that you and Ken put me up to? Yeah. Payback.
Yeah.
Payback, dude. So for those of you who don't know, my self-defense video will be up before too long, and that's why I always tell people. They ask like, should I hit him in the sack? Should I hit him in the man's privatal region? And so my saying is knees before nuts. Always knees before nuts, because if they can't chase you, that's the best case scenario. All right, we better jump into our topic. So the topic for today is standing for your values. And we've done this topic a bunch. So if you want to deeper dive than what we're doing today, head on over to my website, changingearthseries.com. And if you go into it's the Learn tab, and you go into Community and Leadership, there's all kinds of articles there about standing for your values, standing up for freedom, what that looks like, both pre and post virus. So it was a little different. We talked.
It's so fun. When we were talking about this show topic, all I could think of was throwing on Brad's album, because his theme of the silent war is basically standing up for
Right?
what you believe in.
Absolutely.
So y'all just go listen on YouTube or whatever. Listen to that, because it's so much what we're talking about right now.
My mom doesn't even like music. And she's like she doesn't listen to music very often. I know. It's just weird. She doesn't listen to much music. But I always work out, and Brad's songs are part of my playlist while I'm working out. And she's sitting there, watching me work out. And she's like, I got to get these songs. I want just these songs here, not like my other like heavy metal stuff and that. She's like, I just want those ones. And I'm like, yes. Even my mom loves him. That's awesome. She's all sharing it on Facebook and stuff. I'm like, nice. So yeah, it really rings a bell, because it is very much like he's the modern day Bob Dylan without the drugs. Very family oriented guy. So I can't say that, because there was like Bob Dylan, he was so high that I'm like, no, that's not him. But the music's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to values, it's easy for us to sit in our cushy little lifestyle and be like, oh, well, I would never do this or that. And that's one of the reasons why I started writing the novels that I did. It was a beginning of a thought experiment on what would I do if I was down here, we lived in the foothills, and I was down in the city, and my family was up in the foothills. And what would I do to get home to them? And the answer was, I'd do pretty much anything to get home to them, And now I have found my faith way, I walk hand in hand with Jesus. So there's things that, that would be very challenging from a Christian standpoint of what will you do to get home. And would you help people along the way? Would you put yourself at jeopardy to help somebody else and know you might not ever make it home to the people you love? So these thought experiments are something we really need to go through, at least on a thought basis, before we actually get to that day when an EMP explodes over the top of us and we don't have power for a year. And for me personally, what I've really come back to is we need community. And all of our social media and things like that, they have stripped away so much of our community that that's going to be a challenge for us even to get used to what does that look like to be a part of a community. Can you even get along with your family? And now you're going to be, asked to be a part of this community. And how do you work within that construct? So for me, that's really where my personal thoughts have gone to. Well, like at the beginning, I was more like a screw everybody. I'm just going to take my family and live in the woods. And my kids in the woods, I wouldn't make it like a month, and you need them. Then talking to warriors, these literal warriors of our day. And they're like, look, the tactical group is 13 people because you need 2 watching the guys who are actually doing stuff, or gals that are actually doing stuff. And their only job is to be on lookout while the other 2 are working. And then you need more back here doing this and more over there doing this. And it was very, very clear that you're not going to survive without a group. So that we really need to start thinking about that. I wish that our powers that be, I wish that, the news, that kind of thing, would start having these conversations now so that the average everyday person would wake up more. And I know we're doing our job here at PBN, Changing Earth. Everybody's, we're trying hard to wake people up through story, through learning, through everything we can. And we even thought like, man, COVID, if you didn't learn from COVID, right? Then
right.
I can't save you now, right? But the normalcy bias. Everybody just wants it to get back to normal. I don't know what that looks like. And I don't know what all these electric cars look like if an EMP hits or a CME, like, bye.
It doesn't even do that, because look at the grid doesn't handle the load as it is. Like every summer we hear about, don't use the air conditioner, don't, whatever. They have rolling blackouts and brownouts and whatever. But like in a couple of years, we got to be no more gas cars. Or
it's ridiculous. Get a brain. Yeah. So I actually talk to people about that in the insurance industry. I'm like, standing for my values, right? That's what it's about. I don't care. I do a really good job. If my boss wants to take it up with me because I'm standing up for my values, then we'll have that conversation, So that's the first thing I challenge everybody to do, is to really think about, oh, that's funny. Intrepid Commander just put up 0 Point Energy, and that's exactly the commercial that I played today. Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Love it. Love it. We're so on point. He came in late, so. But yeah, that's the first thing I challenge you to do, is challenge your normalcy bias. And if you think you've already thought through everything, I guarantee you haven't.
But it's not that, like, electric cars and electric power, it's not that stuff's bad or evil. It's, you can't just like turn a switch and say that now it's going to be all this or now it's going to be all that, right? It's
right.
Just because you want it to be that way doesn't mean the laws of nature are going to let it happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like we set this goal, so it's going to be that way. No. And shouldn't we be able to pivot? Right?
Or, yeah, I mean, just assess where you're at and keep adjusting your goals and your plans. I mean, you can't just, I don't know. It's just, rose-colored glasses are a wonderful thing.
Right. So one of the things that I was thinking of that we should really do, and this is a page out of your book, Chin, because you told me, in a wildfire situation, you have to have a line. Like, you have to be able to tell yourself, same with a hurricane situation, you have to be able to tell yourself, if it's coming to this road that's near my house or whatever, that is my time when I'm out of here, no matter what, to take away the emotion out of the decision, right? So you have to know in your heart, so
you can just make these.
Yes, without emotion, right? You have to know in your heart where you stand, so that when that time comes, you can look down at what you have written down, right? And be like, this is a line that I told myself I was never going to cross. And if that costs me my life, then, I must stand for that value. I don't know. This is all really, really rocky road. Like, me as American, I've never been in this position before where, I know, like, self-defense wise, I've told my kids that, if I'm, threatened, either I'm coming home or I'll be in a box, because I won't ever be a victim. So,
it's funny. So when we were doing the show prep, I told you I just typed in stand for your values, and there was a whole bunch of different articles that popped up. Another one was LinkedIn, like that job hunting, networking kind of LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, back in 2015, they wrote an article, how to take a stand for your values. And it's the start of the article starts out, standing for your values is a dying ethic. So many are intimidated into going with the flow. In 2015, LinkedIn wrote that.
That is so horribly sad to hear.
And then what happened in the past couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, I don't agree with wearing it. I don't agree with doing this, but I'm just going to do it anyway, because people look at me weird when I'm in the grocery store. Now, if it's for your job and whatnot, I get it, right? Like,
but the only reason why it was free, it was allowed to be free job, is because so many people just
went with it.
The flow.
Yeah. Okay. And I know my good friend asked me to mask. We were just talking about this, but my thing was like, if somebody came to my house and was like, if you want to go outside, you have to wear a burqa.
Yeah, right.
I would be like, F you, up one side and down the other. I think not. You know, like,
well, that's not very nice language, potty mouth.
Yeah, I know. Well, I self-censored, didn't I? Like I said that. Okay. You know, seriously though, like you can't tell me what I have to wear on my body, and you can't tell me what I have to put in my body. These are this is my realm. This is my freedom. I grew up in Catholic school, and I had to wear a uniform every day. When I became old enough, I was like, oh, heck no. You know, like, So those things have been my choice. And my friend is like, but you're so religious. How are you so anti-authoritarian and so religious at the same time? Because, like, isn't God like the big, like, guy upstairs who tells you what you have to do? And I'm like, yeah, but I made a choice. I made a conscious choice to go, that is some good stuff. I want to shine that light. So I'm going to do that. If it's Pfizer who just lost, the biggest criminal lawsuit ever, and then they're telling me that I got to stick this in my body, no, I don't. If I don't respect you and love you, then forget it. Why would I ever listen to you? So, that's really sad. I think that we need to refocus on a whole lot of that. Like you said before the show, if you got to stand for something.
Yeah, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything.
That's right. So. Yep. And you better make your stand. You better know where that is. If you're not religious or whatever, that's fine. But you better know where your moral compass is. And if you're like, well, I don't really have a moral compass, I'm just going to go shoot everybody and take their stuff. Well, good luck. Good luck. I mean, I wish you the best. I hope that I'm interested to see how that's going to work out for you. Mm-hmm. So that brings us to like knowing your why, right? You better have a clear understanding of what you're protecting, why you're doing that, why you're doing those behaviors you are, because in a situation like that, I could see just getting lost, absolutely lost in your own mind so easily. Yeah. And everybody who's listening to the show, you guys are the future leaders of tomorrow. When something happens, these people, the average person hasn't even been studying how to like make clean drinking water. They're just going to walk up to any source and start drinking water because they're so thirsty. You guys are the leaders of tomorrow. And so you better know your why. You better have that stand, that moral compass, that clear understanding of what your goals are. And hopefully it's not to be like TJ Swenson or something like that. Although maybe, some people are safe.
It's on the desk.
Right? So, no.
That little kid they threw out in the trash.
That kid, So, but hey, even, like Doug says, I mean, from his standpoint, he was doing the right thing and trying to save people. It's just he had a different way of going about it,
Swenson's standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the whole reason why TJ was created is because when I started asking people about just different people I would meet on the internet and whatnot, meeting people to see if I wanted to have them on my show and stuff like that. And I would ask them, like, okay, so you have a kid captured and his father's coming to get him. What are you going to do to like, defend your territory? And the dude was like, I just start sending him his kid back piece by piece. And I was like, what? Like, my brain doesn't even function that way, you know?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Till he stopped coming. I'd just send a piece at a time till he stopped coming. I was just like, whoa. And then I knew some people that were like involved with Hell's Angels and stuff like that. And listening to some of their stories, and when you listen to some of the law enforcement guys that come in on like when the cartels are finished with torturing somebody and stuff like that, you understand that there is a whole level of person that we've never even, I know myself as like being raised Christian and everything. There's this whole level of person that our minds don't even imagine that level of like total destruction of other people and not caring and not, that they could just do that easily. And so that's really where TJ came from. And it was to show people that, look, these people are out there, you've got to be ready. You got to have your community strong, yourself strong, and know like, where are my value lines, or else you could get swept up into that. So I don't think that you're going to be going to the big man upstairs if you go into those types of activities. So that's your decision. So what you need is confidence in yourself and confidence of where you stand and things like that. That's how you get through self-defense situations. That's how you survive the day. Like we said earlier, you need to be agile. You need to be able to like change up stance, but still have that rock that you're standing on, right? So, I'm going this direction, and if I keep going that direction, I am going to be in violation of myself, so I need to change direction. And then you got to stay mentally and physically strong so that you can be there for your loved ones and be that sounding board for them. Try to keep doing the right thing. There was some other cool. What was some of the other Forbes ones that you had?
Yeah, it's just funny. Like in 2017, Forbes, and what was the other one?
It was the horrible Post. Magazine. Yeah, Huffington Post. Yeah.
They're both outstanding. and like Forbes was talking about how you had to make good decisions and have good values, so you basically build for future people to stand on your shoulders. The culture you generate in your office or community is what sets the bedrock for the next generation of workforce or children or whatever to stand on top of the foundation that you built.
That's legit.
It was just, yeah, it's just interesting to see so that's Forbes is like a big business magazine or publication, right?
Yep.
So where are all the big corporate businesses leaning towards now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The horrible standard.
Did you read this article for 2017, or did they just leave that out in the lobby for
yeah, business so it looked
as
good.
They were coming in? Yeah.
Forbes sometimes comes up with some good stuff. But we call it setting the tone. It's like in martial arts, when I'm teaching a martial arts class, we call it setting the tone. So the tone that you set is going to depict, as a leader, is going to depict how that class goes that day, right? Oh, we're having fun. We're doing this. Oh, we're down to business. We're being serious. You're not doing what I say. You got to do push-ups, whatever, something like that. And so, yeah, setting that tone is actually really, really important. And so that's why, again, you've got to be so strong in your own base if you're going to set that tone for that people want to follow. Or
they're like, we must show tolerance in some areas and dogged adherence to our foundational values in others. It's like, it just,
Yeah.
when you read that stuff now, it just draws a lot of questions in my mind as to why
Right.
we're at right now, if people really felt that way
Back then.
Yeah.
But it also, so what's happened is that the culture they've created, the value that they're standing for, is really the love of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only thing that matters is that bottom line. Like, business took that turn a while ago.
Anymore, because some of these, we don't. Do we really want to go down this rabbit hole for this show? But some of what they're standing for is losing the money.
Fair enough. Fair
Also,
enough. And yeah, no lies with all this BS. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I don't know either. But I know what I stand for. And it's
That's
not, right? It's not that. We're going to, we'll have the videos up soon. You can see me all doing my thing, talking values, protecting yourself. Are you ready to jump into some Changing Earth news?
Roll the music.
Here we go. All right, Changing Earth news. I always think of like roll that beautiful footage. Right?
The dog.
Yeah, I'm like,
exactly.
woo, woo,
Yep.
I got it.
Don't tell the secret formula.
Uh-huh. Okay. So the sun right now, not too many sunspots going on. We do have a coronal hole that's facing Earth. That's usually earthquake uptick, which is not good because we've had some really big earthquakes that are coming around the West Coast. So all my West Coasters out there, the guy that I watch a lot has issued a warning for a 5.0 or higher in California. West Coast is on the bullseye right now. And the earthquakes always work their way around to that point from the bottom up, that direction. So West Coast, please be prepared this week, especially for an earthquake. It's with the coronal hole lined up, and then the ones we've already had hit. It's looking pretty likely that we might see one on the East Coast or on the West Coast. So please heads up there. We also have two really strong storms that are aiming to impact Mexico this week. So if you're down in Mexico, they actually just had a strong earthquake down there as well in the southern part of Mexico. And now we have these two hurricane and a tropical storm right behind it that are aiming to hit Mexico. I know I have a lot of listeners from around the world now. So if you're down in Mexico, please be aware you are in the bullseye this week for these storms coming in. So please be prepared. All right, on October 2nd of 2023, we had 407 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.3 in West Java in Indonesia. Orlando, Florida, and Brevard, the neighborhood roads were turned to rivers because of flooding. New York was cleaning up after their flooding incident. They've been getting hit hard this year. 3.9 earthquake hit NorCal. 5.2 hit Meghalaya, India. And a 2.0 near Wrigley, Tennessee. I always look at the Tennessee, that area because of the new Madrid quake. We will see California go, and then we're going to see that shock ripple around the craton, and it's going to hit that St. Louis, Memphis area. So if you're over there, you guys need to be prepared for earthquake. I know it doesn't happen very often, but please have a plan ready for that scenario because when it does happen, it's going to be some serious stuff. All right, on the 2nd of October, we had 391 earthquakes that are 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 5.6 in Indonesia. And there wasn't really two other big, remarkable weather stories going on the 2nd. So the planet was just kind of calm. The earthquakes were down. Everything was chilling. We like to see that. On October 3rd of 2023, there was 391 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, the biggest of which was a 5. No, wait, I just read that one. 10-3 of 23. Sorry. I'm looking at the chat at the same time. There was 431 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.0 in Japan. So I did find through my research that there was a 6.2 in Nepal, India. Whether that hit the night of the 4th or something like that, we just don't know. But there was definitely this big earthquake over there. So it was felt all the way down in Delhi. They've been having a series. It just wasn't up on the USGS stuff that I look at. It's actually the Volcano Observatory that I look at, because USGS isn't that reliable either. So that was just kind of strange. I didn't see the backup of that incident happening, but I saw news articles about it all over the place and read about it. So weird that it wasn't there. Tropical storm Philip caused flooding in the Eastern Caribbean, and there was flooding in southern Las Vegas as well as hail there. Campi Flegrei in Italy, guys. Put this one on your map. Campi Flegrei. This is a super volcano. I talked about it last week. They had a big earthquake there, biggest one they've had in 40 years, and the swarms have continued. So they have the risk of eruption is increasing. They have evacuation plans being made. They're already starting to evacuate some people out, because there's like 500,000 people in the danger zone of Campi Flegrei. And with it making noise, that is big time. So everybody that's over there in Italy, please be heads up on that one. That is a big volcano that would seriously cause some alterations to our Earth.
Know what your cutoff lines are, right? What we were just talking about.
Exactly. Yep. When you start.
Yeah.
Yep. Write it down. Like when it gets to here, I'm out no matter what. Don't wait for that eruption. That's not good. Southern Australia was hit with intense lightning, strong winds. They had massive power outages down there. Haven't talked to Ellen lately, so I don't know if that's something that affected her. On October 14th of 2023, we had 428 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.4 in the Philippine Sea. The U.S. Virgin Islands were impacted by Philip. In Brazil, they've had a really bad drought in the Amazon rainforest. They found 100 pink dolphins that were dead. So I don't know if you guys know about the pink dolphins. They are river dwellers. They have a unique look to them. But to find 100 of them dead, it's really sad. The population was just really rebounding, and so that's a big hit to them. New Mexico was hit with rivers of hail in New Mexico. So it's kind of strange. It's supposed to be just rumbling across the south during October. So Pecos, Texas was also hit with extreme hail, hit another car lot. And this is just the worst case scenario. I mean, this hail comes in, it's huge. It just destroys all the cars that are out in the lot. So guess what my insurance premiums are going to do next year? And I'm not the only one. I've seen articles on Colorado, on South Dakota, Minnesota, of course, California. So this extreme weather is really, really going to do nasty things to our insurance rates. And as somebody that's in the industry, it's a big, $250,000 from one storm is a big, just hard to pick that up. And then you multiply that and multiply it, it's going to have some effect on rates. So brace yourselves for that, guys. I would start padding money away for, especially if you own a home, for next year's insurance rates. In São Jorge do Oeste in Prana, Brazil was hit with a major hailstorm. And then on the 5th of 2023, there was 428 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger. The biggest of which was a 6.6 that hit that hit near Japan on an outlying island. There was a 3.2 in Uttar Pradesh in India. There was a 6.1 magnitude in the Philippine Sea near Japan. So this was the beginning of these big rumblings that we saw. It hit Indonesia first, and then out in the Philippine Sea by Japan, it's just been getting hit over and over and over. The biggest ones that I mentioned are not all that they got for those days. They got like 5 in a row. Bam, bam, bam. All these earthquakes out there. So we definitely have to keep our eye on this activity that's happening. In northern Texas was hit with ping pong ball size hail, power outages, flash flooding warnings, and over in India.
Red cups.
What's that? I'll get
Break out the red Solo cup.
yeah. We're playing some beer pong out there. Out in India, there's a Himalayan glacial lake, and it just got too much rain from this rain event. The dam was destroyed. So they had massive floodings underneath it. Thousands of people evacuated. On the 5th, there was definitely 14 people confirmed deceased, and then hundreds missing. So India definitely needs our prayers right now. They've been getting hit over and over again by these extreme flooding events. And now earthquakes and things like that as well. So, and there's a lot of people in harm's way out there. They have a big population, so they're definitely going to need our prayers. We'll start talking more about this Himalayan event as we go. There was flooding in Victoria, Australia. Thousands evacuated Gippsland. I was like, where is Gippsland? Well, I should have known it was Australia. And then a large dust storm in West Texas. So the Panhandle's been getting hit with these huge dust storms. And on the island of Tenerife, Spain, there was thousands of people evacuated as wildfires spread on the island. And Typhoon Kuinu hit Taiwan on the 5th as well. Massive, setting records for wind speed going on over there. So these big storms, big flooding events, and then our wildfires, of course, are still going. On the 6th of October, there was 404 earthquakes that were 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.6 in the Philippine Sea. That's right by Japan again. So whammo again. There was also a 6.1 on Isuzu Island and a 4.2 in Anchorage, Alaska. So that's the earthquake starting to ripple up and around the Ring of Fire. We still haven't had anything massive enough in California to really say, oh yeah, that was the energy that was feeding it. It finally released itself. So the more that we lock up, that's bad news. We don't want to see all this activity without having activity in California and on the West Coast as well. That means the plates are locked. That means it'll be a bigger earthquake when it happens. So we're definitely, like I say, and keeping eyes on that area right now. Please be aware if you're on the West Coast. Wow, this is going to be a hard one to say. Polygoni, Bangladesh. They were hit by a tornado. It damaged tons of their shops and temples over there. The Himalayan death toll increased to 40 on the 6th. Kalamazoo, Michigan saw some big flooding there with their roads turning to rivers. Kilauea had over 140 earthquakes. So that's why I'm saying this energy is out there. And the risk of a major eruption, again, on Kilauea is elevating. It had calmed down, but now we've got these swarms coming back. And then in Oklahoma, baseball-sized hail packets lit up across the state on the 6th. So this hail, that's something really out of left field. Ha, ha, ha. Pun intended, I guess. Because it's not really one I thought of that would be very catastrophic as we move into these challenging times for our planet. But boy, am I wrong about that one. And then on October 7th, we had 426 earthquakes, or 2.0 or bigger, biggest of which was a 6.9 in Papua New Guinea. Big earthquake. Himalayan death toll raised to 50. There was a 6.3 earthquake that hit Afghanistan. At least 15 people were dead from initial reports, 78 injured, but they saw some major damage over there. And just as of today, that death toll has raised to about 2,000 people dead from that earthquake. So again, they need our prayers over there. There was a 5.9 earthquake that hit Mexico. That's that southern Mexico earthquake I was talking about, where the storms are now pretty much bullseyed right in on the earthquake. And the 6.0 that hit Papua New Guinea, it's more than likely we're going to see some significant damage and casualties come out of that earthquake as well. It's just not as fast to pick up news from over there. So today is October 8th. More heavy rain is expected to threaten New York City, so be prepared for that if you're over in that region. Sandstorm hit Tajikistan and eastern China, as well as Mills, New Mexico. So we've been seeing these major sandstorms spark up. And they've been saying that the debris that these sandstorms are carrying, because of the amount of pollution in them from all of our, the chemicals and whatnot that we use, they can be pretty toxic. So again, toxic sandstorms, that's also something I should have thrown into the Changing Earth series. We'll have to put it into the TV series when we start there. Northern Ireland is under severe storm and tornado warnings. Sri Lanka had some severe rain with heavy flooding. 6 people died in that event. There was another 6.7 earthquake in Papua New Guinea. There's no tsunami threat issued from that event at this time. And then, like I say, the death toll there in Afghanistan is now up to 2,000 people. I don't have the United States wildfire information today. For some reason, they were having problems with their website, and none of my browsers would let me get over there today. So hopefully they have that fixed up before next week. But I would assume they're down. We've been seeing the cooler weather rolling in, rain coming in, that kind of thing. We did have, I know I was, JB let me know that they were having some fires on the West Coast due to the lightning strikes, because they had some lightning strikes over there. And so when it's dry and you have those lightning strikes, never a good combo. As far as volcanic eruptions, we are still spiking out. I mean, we're still at 29 erupting volcanoes on our planet. That's still really high per the numbers that we've seen the last few years. We have 35 showing minor activity. Again, still a pretty high number, but only 30 showing unrest. So like all of them are just showing or erupting or showing minor activity. Campi Flegrei is one of the ones that's on the board for unrest. We always look at Pele and Vesuvius because per Edgar Casey, the prophet, when those two start erupting together, it's not going to be good for Nevada in the United States. Pele is on the unrest chart, but Vesuvius is not on any of the charts right now. So we're looking good there. And we are down one erupting volcano or one showing unrest. We're down one for the week. So one volcano did get taken off our list for this week. So I'm going to pretty much assume that's going to change for next week because we're having all these earthquakes.
Stop it.
What, you can just look at patterns, I mean, okay, couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks, it's probably going to be up again because of the earthquake activity. So there's the eyes on the planet. It's what we're doing. We're rocking and rolling. It's just an exciting time to be alive. Okay. You got to just understand we're going to see some stuff in our lifetime. So, everybody just needs to get ready. Be ready. Be prepared, not scared. You know what?
That's right.
Jesus says in the Bible 365 times, do not be afraid. That's one for every day of the week or every day of the year, right? So week, year, same difference, right?
Yeah.
So
Week.
yeah. So don't be afraid. Just live life. Live happy. Do you. And listen to the Changing Earth podcast. I'll keep you up to speed on what's going on. Yeah. Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah. So this week we have episode 6 of the Changing Earth audio drama coming out, and we'll have all the bugs worked out of it. I promise. And well, I guess I don't really promise. That's not my wheelhouse right now. So, JB, you better promise me. No, I get it. So we're going to have that up on Thursday. next episode of Changing Earth comes out. And guys, one of my favorite scenes that I put together yet is in episode 6. So I'll see if you can pick it out for next week. But it was a challenge to do, and I didn't realize I could actually make it happen quite the way I did. So pretty proud of that one. So check that one out, coming out on Thursday. And the videos will be coming out. We're just always moving and grooving here at Changing Earth, and I'll keep you up to speed on what's happening with the Hollywood stuff. Probably won't have too much news on that until beginning of next year. So hopefully I can just forget and not be jazzed every day of my life until then. So hey, I'd rather live happy than sad. Life is too short. Mm-hmm. You listen to the Changing Earth news, right? So, alrighty, guys. Thank you for coming. Thanks for lighting up the chat room. I mean, if you guys aren't in the chat, you better get over there. It was great stuff today. What? Go ahead. We couldn't hear you.
I said you're missing out on half the show if you don't get in there and type away. Right.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
It's always fun. You guys got to have... and it's a closed network, so you don't have to worry about, like... I don't know if you're worried about, like, being out there in public or whatever. You can choose a fake name, and you just go up in there, and it's a closed network, so you should be good to go. And just come hang out with us and have some fun on the chat room. If you want to check out everything that is the Changing Earth, head on over to ChangingEarthSeries.com. That's ChangingEarthSeries.com. We got the audio drama over there, the podcast over there, all the novels over there, the full learning sequence. So videos, blogs, man, you can just go over there and dive in for days. So please go over to Changing Earth Series, check that out. Consider becoming a subscribing member. Always appreciate that. And pretty soon we'll have the Changing Earth merchandise up there. So that's going to be cool. So I'll see you over there. And until next time, remember, dream,
survive,
thrive.
Thank you for joining Sarah and Chen for this episode of the Changing Earth podcast. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Day After Disaster, Without Land, The Walls of Freedom, Battle for the South, Dark Days in Denver, and The Endless Night at www.authorsarahfhathaway.com. If you love the Changing Earth series and podcast, become a supporter while you're there.